Hey everyone, welcome to Daily News Analysis. Let's look at the important news for January 17th. The first news is regarding the collegium system. Under the collegium system, the way the judges are appointed currently, the government wants some say in it. So, Law Minister Kiran Rijiju has wrote a letter to the government seeking that there should be a search and evaluation panel that will have government representatives. They will shortlist and suggest names to collegium for judgeship in constitutional courts. So, in a clear indication that the Narendra Modi government is determined to restructure the collegial system of appointments to the higher judiciary, Law Minister Kiran Rijiju has written to the Chief Justice of India to suggest a nominee of the union government in the Supreme Court Collegium and a state representative in each of the High Court's collegiums. The four-page letter has raised a long list of complaints and sought the formation of a search and evaluation committee which will have government representatives to suggest names to the collegiums for appointment as judges in constitutional courts. See, in India, we have the judiciary, we have the legislature, we have the executive, and there is separation of power. So, the way judges are appointed in the judiciary is more or less independent. Now, the legislature wants to have a say in that. Legislature wants to have government representatives who will be suggesting that who should be promoted to the judge in higher judiciary in constitutional courts. So that is in that direction. The law minister has written the letter. And let's see, does it succeed or does it fail like the NJAC when the government proposed NJAC that was struck down by the Supreme Court. So it remains to be seen what happens to this move. Supreme Court will hear petition against marital rape. As you know that marital rape is not criminalized in India. If a husband forcibly has sex with his wife, that is not an offense currently. However, there have been many complaints, there have been many petitions that marital rape should also be considered as a rape. And to hear the petitions, the Supreme Court will hear those petitions from 21st of March. The Supreme Court on Monday said it will begin hearing a series of petitions seeking to criminalize marital rape. A three-judge bench led by Chief Justice of India directed the Union of India to file its response in an affidavit. The center, represented by Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, said the case not only has legal ramifications but also widespread social impact. So, what happened was the Karnataka High Court had earlier held that a man was liable to be charged for rape under the Indian Penal Code if he had forcible sex with his wife, and the Karnataka government had supported the High Court judgment in an affidavit in the apex court subsequently. So there is an exception 2 to section 375 of the Indian Penal Code that decriminalizes marital rape, and it holds that sexual intercourse by a man with his wife who is not under 18 years of age without her consent is not a rape. However, the Karnataka High Court said that a man is a man, an act is an act, rape is a rape. B is performed by a man, the husband, on the woman, wife. So it remains to be seen whether Supreme Court also has the same viewpoint as the Karnataka High Court or it has a different viewpoint on the matter. ISRO likely to push Venus mission Surya Kiran 1 to 2031. So, in order to send for these missions, to send satellites on these missions, there is a window. You can send in that window. So, the next probable window is being pushed to 2031. So, in a talk on January 9, P. Sri Kumar, the Satish Dhawan professor at the ISRO and advisor to its space science program, said that the organization was yet to receive approval from the Union government for the Venus mission, and the mission could be, as a result, be postponed to 2031. Optimal launch windows from Earth to Venus occur once around every 19 months. This is why ISRO has backup launch dates in 2026, 2028 if the 2024 opportunity is missed. But even more optimal windows, which further reduce the amount of fuel required at liftoff, come around every 8 years. So, if we want that optimal window, then it can be shifted to 2031. Remember the name of the mission? Shurikiran 1. Shukrayan, sorry, I'm extremely sorry. It's not Shurikiran, it's Shukrayan. So remember the name of the mission, Shukrayan 1, that the ISRO is likely to push that Venus mission Shukrayan 1 to 2031. Viacom 18 wins media rights for the first 5 editions of Women's IPL. So Viacom 18 has been awarded the media rights for 951 crore rupees for the first 5 editions of the Women's IPL, which is set to start in March. The media right bids were opened at a hotel here in Monday in the presence of all the bidders. So this is not a very important news, but of course you should know who has the rights. So Viacom 18 has the this IPL rights for women's IPL. The exports dropped by 12.2% in a year on slow demand. So let's look at the figures. The country has exported goods worth $34.48 billion in December 2022, which is a rise from November's 32 billion figure. However, if we compare it to the last year, there is a drop. Import contracted 3.5% to $58.2 billion from $60.33 billion a year ago. So exports dropped by 12.2%. India exported goods worth 34.48 billion in December, constituting a 7.75% rise from November 32 billion figure, but a steep 12.2% dip from a year ago amid slowing global demand. Imports also contracted, as I already mentioned. This is the second time in 3 months that the value of outbound merchandise shipments had tanked year on year. In October 2022, goods exports had dropped 16.7% to slip below the $30 billion mark for the first time in 21 months and then risen a mere 0.6% in November. On sports, we have Axelsen and Yamaguchi claiming Malaysian Open. So, world number one Victor Axelsen of Denmark has beaten Japan's Kodai Naroka to claim the men's single crown in the Malaysia Open. And the women's event was won by Japan's Akane Yamaguchi, who beat South Korea's An Se Young in a summit clash. And in football, the Barcelona drops Real Madrid to win Spanish Super Club. So Barcelona convincingly beat Real Madrid in Saudi Arabia on Sunday to win the Spanish Super Club, its first trophy since coach Xavi Hernandez took over. The richest 1% owns 40% of the country's wealth as per Oxfam. So the percentage of India's total wealth owned by the richest 1% of the country, while the bottom half of the population together share just 3% of the wealth, a new study by Oxfam International revealed. While releasing the report, the organization said that taxing India's 10 richest at 5% could fetch funds to bring all children back to school. That's an interesting data. So these were some important news. The most important was regarding the collegium, how the government is trying to be a part of the way judges are being appointed. Then regarding marital rape, this can be very important news. Let's see what the Supreme Court observes, how the Supreme Court takes this matter. Then this is regarding the Venus mission, Shukrayan. Extremely sorry, I called it Suryakiran earlier. It's Shukrayan 1. Then we have Viacom 18 winning the bid for the 5 editions of the women's IPL. Exports have dropped by 12.2% in a year on slow demand. Then we have from sports, Axelsen and Yamaguchi claim honors in Malaysia Open, and Barcelona drops Real Madrid to win Spanish Super Club. The richest 1% owns 40% of country's wealth. That's all for right now. Thank you so much. See you in the next session with more set of news. Thank you so much.